Welcome to our webinar today on how to host an open house that generates business. My name is Randy Cochran, and I am the National Director of Growth and Development for Equity Real Estate. And today we're going to be talking about strategies to attract more buyers, create more engagement, but most importantly, generate leads for your real estate business. And as we get started, please take some notes as we go along. And we want to make as much impact on your business as possible in the amount of time that we have together today. Now, open houses are more important right now than they've ever been in the history of real estate. After last August and the changes that were made in cooperation, a lot of buyers that are in the market aren't really willing to go out and oftentimes sign an agreement with an agent, and they feel intimidated by that, especially if they're just in the initial phases of purchasing a home. And so what we're seeing happen is we're seeing a lot of the buyers in the marketplace, what they're actually doing is they're attending open houses because they know that they can go in and out of an open house without an agreement with an agent. And what is happening is open houses are allowing buyers to view the property in person. It's creating an emotional connection that the listing photos can't achieve. They're also providing agents with the opportunity to connect with potential clients and increase the visibility in the market. So by you hosting a well-planned open house, you can now attract more buyers. You get to build relationships with the neighbors, so the neighbors can pick who is possibly going to be moving into that home. Maybe they have a friend or a family member or somebody they would really like to see be in the neighborhood, and it's giving them an opportunity to pick their neighbors. So this also allows you to showcase your expertise in the market. And not just that, but one thing that we're talking about is really becoming that certified full service professional and that expert advisor or trusted advisor for your community. Now, as you list homes, and as soon as you list the home, one of the very first things that you'll want to do is you'll want to think about when you're going to be hosting your first open house. And in our real estate business, one thing that we've always done is we've strategically placed our homes on market. So typically, if we list a home on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, we're planning on going on market on Friday morning. That way, the listing is new for the weekend and it's fresh, but typically we're also hosting that open house. Now, if we list a property over the weekend and it's a Friday or a Saturday or sometimes even a Sunday, we're typically going on market on Monday, and then we're planning our first open house midweek and then hosting it again on the weekend. And the interesting thing about listing and selling real estate in today's market environment, it's different than it's ever been. And as real estate agents and brokers, if you have a property, especially if it's vacant and hopefully staged, that when you are now working in your real estate business, unless you are out showing homes, unless you are not negotiating a contract, and unless you're not going to a closing, then you should be prospecting for business. And if you're prospecting for business, then you should be prospecting from your open house. I'll never forget, we had a property that we had listed, and at the time it was when the market was trending down back in the 2009, 2010 time frame. And in order to get that property sold, we literally held it open every single day from 10 a.m. until around 6 or 7 p.m. until that property sold. But the result of that was not just getting the property sold, the result of that was the massive number of buyers that we generated coming through that open house. Now, when you're thinking about doing your open house, you want to have some strategies. And the first strategy is your photography and video. Now, a lot of us as agents, we're hiring third-party companies. We're doing Matterport tours. We're doing video tours. And with some of the new cell phone technology, the cameras on these cell phones do an amazing job of video and an amazing job of photos. And you want to use those high quality visuals to showcase the home so that you attract more interest. Now, in addition to that photography and video, you can do some online syndicated marketing with your photos, and you can use platforms like Realtor.com or Zillow, or you can use your custom website to highlight the property. And of course, if you're utilizing your website and that is where you're driving traffic, you do not want to drive traffic to anywhere other than yourself. That way you're branding your business, but also at the same time, when you do that, and you're driving them to your website, if you're not just driving clients there, but you're also driving agents there, they can see that compensation that your seller may be willing to offer to an agent for showing and selling the home. So make sure that you're driving everybody to your high quality website. Now, you're also going to want to visit the neighbors, and you're going to personally invite the neighbors to the open house because they may know somebody that's looking to buy. You might even they might even be considering selling their own home. But one thing that you can also do is you can do an exclusive preview for the neighborhood, especially if it's a luxury home. And it's funny because, a lot of times there are those nosy neighbors and they want to know the price, they want to see inside because oftentimes they've never been in their neighbor's home. And they're like, oh my gosh, what does the Joneses home look like on the inside? Or what does the Smith's backyard look like? Because I know they have a pool and or a pickleball court, and I just want to check things out. So by visiting the neighbors and creating that relationship, it separates you from other agents that are not willing to get out and actually knock on a door. And we'll talk more about that here in just 1 minute. Now, when you're preparing the home for the successful open house, you need to involve the property owner because you need to make sure that the property is well staged, it's clean, the blinds are open, the lights are on, and then you want to use some scented candles or some wall plugs that aren't overly strong to and some soft music to enhance the ambiance on the property. Also, follow-up is crucial after the open house. Sending thank you cards, emails, and marketing reports or property evaluations to the attendees maintain that engagement. Because remember, a lot of times when people are coming through the open house, they're actually thinking about selling their property. They just haven't told anybody yet. And they're just out there really seeing what the competition is. Now, having a comprehensive open house checklist is important. That way you can check the box so that you're not missing anything. And one thing that you might want to consider doing, and this is what we do in our local market, is we actually utilize a company that puts out the open house signs. They put out the directionals. They put the balloons on the sign. They put the open house signs in the yard. They're doing all those things that are branded to our company so that we don't have to do them, so that we can stay engaged in those income producing activities. Of course, there's a monetary cost or investment to have that third-party company put those out, or you could even have your admin or your assistant do that, or maybe even a listing partner, a buyer's agent on your team. But you need to be planning ahead for that open house at least a week before, because you're going to be posting the open house details on social media and listing platforms everywhere. Now, there are some other platforms out there besides, of course, Realtor.com and Zillow, and your MLS may have an open house feature that advertises when the open houses are going to be available. But you want to be using other platforms that are local to your community, like Facebook, or maybe a unique website for your community. And there's also another platform called nextdoor.com that is also a great place to post your open houses. And just let everybody know it's coming soon. And then, of course, making sure that it's staged and ready to go is so important. And then you're going to upload those photos and videos. You can also create a Dropbox folder with property details, comps, and neighborhood data that you can provide for the attendees of the open house. And then, as we mentioned earlier, you want to reach out to the neighbors. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to knock on 100 nearby homes, which when you say 100 homes, that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Like in my market area, if we host an open, that's really just walking around 2 or 3 blocks in the neighborhood because we have some pretty long blocks in our market area. And all you're going to do is just introduce yourself as the local expert and let them know that they're hosting the open house and to come on by and check it out and invite their friends and their family members to come join as well. Now, the day before the open house, you're going to post that open house sign with the date and time in the yard. You're going to prepare all your materials, your open house flyers, your buyer registration form, and your open house folders if you're going to be providing those, as well as an open house feedback form. So everybody that's attending this webinar today and everybody that registered for the webinar, they are going to be getting an open house feedback form, and they're also going to be getting an open house ebook that is going to have some additional information to help you host your open houses. But really having that material prepared is crucial. Now, on the day of the open house, you're going to get the property keys. A lot of times, depending on the type of listing that we have, we are not key boxing our luxury homes, and they have very, very limited access. We want to be there when the home is shown on those luxury properties. Now, if you have a lockbox application, you're going to update that and make sure that that there's proper access before and after the open house, especially if agents or buyers agents are coming back and they're bringing their buyers back for a second or a third look. You're going to gather those open house flyers and signs and marketing materials. You're going to place the signage around the neighborhood, set up that table with your brochures and business cards, and then you're going to turn on all the lights and prepare the home. Now you're going to greet the visitors and collect contact information when they come through. We always have a sign-in sheet, and it is a requirement for the individuals walking through the home that we have their name, that we have their phone number, and we want their email address. And this is to protect our clients, because if somebody comes through the home and something gets broken or something comes up missing, we want to know who is in the property. Of course, a lot of the properties that we have do have cameras inside the homes. They also have microphones. And if that's the case, we do let all of our visitors know when they come in the open house that they are on camera. Okay, we disclose that. And you know, it's important if you're a buyer's agent and you're going through a home, of course, with your buyer, if there is a camera in there and a microphone, that you're not discussing anything that could compromise your buyer's negotiating position. But from a seller's standpoint, having security and confidentiality by putting those valuables and those important things away is crucial for your client. Now, you're going to provide the property tours and answer questions. You may let the buyers walk around if they have an agent with them. If we strongly suggest, especially for safety purposes, that you're not hosting open houses by yourself, that you always have a second person with you so that you can provide some personalized attention to the individuals walking through the open house, but also for your safety and security purposes as well. Now, after the open house, you're going to notify the seller that the open house was held. You're also going to set up a table with brochures and business cards that you're going to be leaving behind when agents come back through with their buyers. And then you're going to remove all the signage and ensure that the property is secure, because the last thing that you want is somebody getting into the property and without your knowledge. Now, following up is crucial after the open house. This is an opportunity for us to really look at the feedback forms and provide information to our seller that's going to help them either get the property sold or make a repair or improve the price. You always want to be sending thank you notes that are emailed or handwritten, and it's just not to the potential buyers that signed in, but it's also to the agent that brought their buyer to the open house. And sometimes an agent is coming through and they don't even have a buyer with them. They just want to preview the property, especially if it's a luxury home. You're going to provide the market report to provide marketing trends and comparable home sales to position yourself as that valuable resource. And outside of your multiple listing service, there is a website that you can go to get valuable reports and market trends. And that website is called bestplaces.net. All you have to do is simply go into bestplaces.net, put in your property zip code, and it's going to give you amazing information about that area. You can get that information for free if you choose to subscribe. They do have a subscription feature that simplifies the process and will give you reports very, very quickly for your market area that you can provide to those buyers and your clients. Now you're going to schedule follow-up. So if a visitor showed some strong interest, make sure that you're setting up a meeting to discuss their needs in the next step. And hopefully you can get them back through the home when nobody else is there and you can spend some quality time. The next steps, because you're running a well-run open house and with the right strategy and the organized checklist and timely follow-up, it's turning those visitors into long-term clients. But the key is staying proactive because your job doesn't end when the event ends. And one of the things that we strongly suggest that you do either before open or after, before the open house and after the open house, is a video tour online. So before your open house, turn on your camera, go live on social media, record that or put it on Zoom and then post it on social media. Let everybody know that you did the open, that you're going to do the open house, invite them out and post that. But then after the open house, also do a post open house video as well. That way you have a live virtual open house video of before and after, and just let them know the results. Hey everybody, this is Randy. I was streaming online earlier today. We were super excited to host our open house today at 1234 Sago Lily Drive. We had an amazing turnout today. We had 5 real estate agents come through with their buyers. We had another 10 individuals come through that are interested in this market area. And we received some amazing feedback and interest in the property. And we're just super excited. Take a look at the videos and the photos. If you know of anybody that's thinking about maybe buying or selling a property in the next 30 to 90 days, remember, I'm your local expert for our community, and I'm here to answer all your questions. Send me a direct message or just give me a call, and I'm happy to assist you with all your real estate needs. And just remember, I'm never too busy for your referrals. And just be casual, be authentic, and the more that you engage with your audience on social media, especially with these open houses, and some of the best open houses are actually, or not the best videos, or not the open house. Some of the other videos that you can do are just basically video tours of properties that you're showing or walking through. So keep that in mind and watch for an upcoming webinar here on April 16th on how to maximize video in your real estate business. That's our next upcoming webinar. Now, following up with attendees and sharing helpful resources and maintaining relationship, that's what really sets you apart in your competitive market. And these open houses also help build your reputation in the community and lead to future referrals. A consistent effort and strong client service turns open houses into long-term success. And another thing that you want to do is partner up with your vendors. It's also a great idea to, if you've had a home inspection done at the time of the listing, have that inspection available. Also, if you have a warranty that you placed on the property, make sure that you have that warranty information available. And then also partner up with your vendor partners. Have your mortgage broker come sit the open house with you and answer mortgage questions when the buyers walk through. Now, one of the things that you can definitely do to help with your open houses and to help with your marketing is to consider a set fee brokerage. Now, a lot of you already know who Equity Real Estate is. We are a flat fee full service company. We're currently located in 28 states. We're growing into all 50. Last year in 2024, we sold 9,232 properties. That was actually up 5.6% from the year before. This year, we're on track for 10,450 closed transactions. And by joining a set fee brokerage, what that allows you to do is that allows you to get a higher return on your investment because you're keeping more of your commission, and the time and effort you're investing in planning and hosting the open houses leads to higher personal earnings because all you're doing is paying that set $599 transaction fee at closing, and you're keeping the rest of your commissions. Also, this allows you to do cost-effective lead generation for open houses because you're not just meeting the buyers and sellers with the set fee model. The leads that you gain from these events don't come at a cost by giving up a large portion of your future commission. I know a lot of agents that pay a lot of companies a lot of money, up to 30 or 50% or more of their compensation just to receive leads. And what this allows you to do is, again, just keep more of that. It also gives you an incentive to market more if you're keeping more. When you know that you'll keep most of your earnings, you're now more motivated to hold successful open houses. But this allows you to invest in better signage, staging, and follow-up without the worry and concern about the high brokerage split. And you're building a long-term business. Open houses often lead to future listings for your buyers and your clients that you're working with. And at a set fee brokerage, the more deals you close from those relationships, the more cost-effective your business becomes because, again, you're not spending the money on paid leads and advertising. So if you want to consider a set fee brokerage, if you're not already with Equity, we'd love to have a conversation with you. And all you simply need to do is visit www.itsallinthee.com. You can call me at 801-573-4935. You can also scan the QR code. You can schedule a 15-minute phone call with me, a 30-minute web meeting, or a 60-minute one-on-one. And regardless of the company that you're with, and it doesn't even have to pertain to open houses, but if you need help with your real estate business, all you have to do is schedule a call with me or schedule on my calendar, and we'll jump on a web meeting together, and I will help you with your business. We will answer your questions and see what we can do to help you go to the next level in your business, make more money, serve more clients in your community, and at the end of the day, become more referable. So thanks again for joining us today. As I mentioned before, everybody that registered for our webinar is going to be getting access to the replay. They're also going to be getting our ebook, and they're also be getting that open house feedback form that you can use for the buyers that walk through the property, as well as the listing or the buyer's agents or the buyer brokers that are coming through as well. Everybody go out, have a powerful and productive day. Be safe, and we'll see you on another upcoming webinar.